Nearly dropped a bollock there. Good evening, welcome to Vape Talk UK, episode 171. Fucking hell,
Hello.
171.
Oh, it's been a long journey, Mark. It has.
What's it been? 10 weeks?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah. I think I joined at episode 160, so yeah.
And I'm sat here stressing, trying to re-wick, looking for a pair of fucking scissors. Oh, hello.
Oh dear.
How am I supposed? What am I supposed to do? Do I just?
You tear it, mate. Tear it.
I can't tear it. It's got flugel binders on the end.
Oh shit. You're doing the lazy wicking.
Fucking scissors.
Scissors. That's lazy man's wicking, man. Just tear a bit of cotton off.
But to be fair, there was cotton there, so I'm going to use it.
Thank
you very much to Paul at Shady Vaping for providing that. So we've got a bit of an odd show tonight. Those of you that bothered to read the synopsis, those of you that bothered to read the introduction to the show, you will see we have a guest. We have a guest this evening. We're supposed to have Chris. We're supposed to have Chandler. But what do you know?
They ain't fucking here.
I shrug, and my hands aren't in view. I'm going to have to...
Yeah.
So, without further ado, then, I think we should bring our guest in.
Yes.
Now, normally, aren't we supposed to upspeak the guest? Aren't we supposed to sort of wind them in? You know, explain why they're so incredible to the community. You know what they've done, why they're here, and why we've given them time of day on this show. All I can say, this guy been in the industry a long time. He's a genuinely nice guy, even if he doesn't recognise you when he sees you. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Nadeem. Good evening, sir. How you doing, buddy?
What's happening, guys? You all right?
Yeah,
I'm not too bad, not too bad. And now I can't find a fucking screwdriver.
So, mate, I've got 6 here. Does that help?
No,
it doesn't. Is it? Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for the great talk.
Everything. He loses everything all the time.
Thank you for the nice introduction there, mate.
Yeah, you're welcome. I didn't call you a cunt, which is what I promised to do.
You didn't, exactly right. I think you might have just done that now. I'm not sure, but yeah. So anyway,
go with that.
It's fine. Yeah, and sorry for not recognising you, but your Facebook profile, makes you look like a 12-year-old. So there you go.
This
is it. When I first added him on Facebook, I was like, nah, fuck off, that's not Mark.
Yeah. That was exactly the same thing. Yeah.
That was back in my teaching days when I was all professional and ting.
You look like you should be starring in like an ITV gritty drama.
Lindsay says I look like a porn star.
She would.
I wish she would. Fuck me.
I do agree with the gritty drama show. You definitely look like that in that show. So yeah.
I look like I'm starring in Butterflies. Anybody been watching that?
No.
Made me feel really uncomfortable, and I don't. You know me. I don't do uncomfortable. I'm as gritty as it comes. But it made me feel a bit uncomfortable. Did that here program?
Yeah.
But
not seen it, mate. Sorry. I'm too busy working to watch TV.
No, ditto that, mate. Ditto that.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh
clearly.
Shit! I've not got chat up.
He's doing really well. He's doing really well today. So, Nadeem,
I'm actually trying to wick, ready so I can say, this is what I'm vaping on, but I can't. Anyway, are we going to start with before the major introductions? Do you want to start on what we're vaping on?
What you're vaping on right now? I don't know what you're vaping on. I hope you're vaping on cotton and cable, but
I'm seriously trying to work on it.
So if you are vaping on cotton and cable, which one are you using, mate? Which one are you going for today?
Tell you what, let's start with Cass because I feel like a bit of a mug with nothing at the minute. And I'm sure Cass will be clutching his free shit from the weekend.
I could recommend the custard tart to start with for sure, but let me know what your thoughts are.
Right, so what am I vaping on? So far I got the Berserker. It's been keeping me going on the VT75, which is throwing up a few problems at the moment that stops recognizing batteries every now and then when it gets too cold. So if it's really cold outside.
Sorry, maybe I should pay attention. What were you saying, Cass? Sorry.
I'm getting some problems with my VT75. When it gets really cold outside, it stops recognizing the true battery level. So you have to undo the plate and then do it back up, and it sort of kickstarts it again. Right. I've got my Vulcan.
As always.
Yeah, as always, love it. And guess what I've got on top of that? Vaping it is some of the Jeffrey's cream soda.
I'm sorry. That deserves full screen. Go back.
Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah, honestly though, I texted Mark probably a day or so ago, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is really lovely. It wasn't what I expected." And he was like, "Was it more lemon than you expected?" I was like, "No, it's actually more creamy." But now I vape it, it's actually really lemony, really lemonade, and it's actually really fresh. Yeah. So I don't know whether him saying that has changed my perception of it. What else have I got? I've got this little bad boy. Look at that.
Oh, it's the USB stick.
It is. It's the mini.
Nice.
Now, I am well impressed by this. Firstly, look at that. I mean, it's okay. No, it's on like 2 out of 3 battery level. There's meant to be 3 LEDs, but I've been using it. Little pod.
What is it? 128 gig? 256?
512, mate. 512.
512 all the way. Fucking hell. Is it USB 3 though? Is it like bare quick, fam?
Nah, mate. No, it's not. It's slow. It's USB 2, unfortunately. But
sucks.
I paid for this, but I did manage to blag like 50 free pods off of them. So that was pretty cool.
So you're going to force yourself to use them just because free nicotine?
Well, no, because obviously it doesn't come pre-filled. You have to fill it yourself. And I have got, what have I got in it? I've actually got blueberry element blueberry in a 6 milligram in it, and it's bloody lovely. I haven't had a straight blueberry in years. So to actually vape. But it's a nice little vape.
Haven't found what
fucking hell.
Who's singing that?
Hey. Oh my God! Sorry, we're not on the main screen.
Haven't found.
Here he is. You all right, Chris?
All right, mate.
All right.
Point your camera down a bit.
Fucking hell.
There we go. We've got both his chins now.
Have you ever tried fucking logging into a Mac when your keyboard won't turn on? Oh shit! Holy fuck! Can you see that?
It looks like a keyboard, only bigger.
The water leaking out of it.
Why is the water leaking out of your keyboard?
Water and electricity aren't really friends.
What have you got plugged into it? Because I'd unplug that pretty quickly.
I've just literally... I don't even know what it is. I'm guessing my shed's leaking somewhere. That's not good.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything I'm vaping on tonight. And I've got a few bits to show, but I'm not actually vaping on them now. But I have got a few bits to show. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those three devices. And I pimped out my little NS20 pod as well, which is sick. So
cool.
Oh, how are you, dude? How are you, Mr. Lee?
I'm very well, thank you very much, mate. How are you?
I'm not bad. I haven't seen you for a fucking while.
Been a little while, isn't it, mate?
A couple of years, probably.
Chris, you do realise your screen's gone, don't you?
Yeah, well, you don't really want to see a close-up of my tits while I try and unplug this fucking keyboard.
Of course we do. Of course we do. Nadeem, what are you vaping on?
Well, oh, Jesus wept. There he is. Look. All right, Chris. Nice T-shirt, mate.
How has that come back on?
Amazing. Just amazing.
What am I vaping on?
Full of water. That's what I want to fucking know.
Yes, Nadeem, what are you vaping on, mate?
Mate, that's crazy. Yeah, so what I'm vaping on, I've decided to go old school. I've got the Shorty SOI with a Battle Deck on there, Battle Deck S, and I'm vaping Custard Tart by Cotton and Cable on here. I've also got an Apex Vertex that I'm rocking with the Vital Atty on top. Needs a bit of polish, but whatever. And I'm vaping Eat a Mess on here, also by Cotton and Cable. And on here, I have the Asmodus Pumper 21700, and I've got an OATI on there. And in here, I am actually vaping on
Drum roll.
Jeffrey's Cocktail Dreams. Yeah,
That's
the
such
rhubarb
a good flavour, that rhubarb.
I'll tell you what, it's absolutely banging. I'm loving it. So, yeah, thanks a lot for that, Mark, for hooking me up.
You're welcome, buddy.
Did you finally find what you were looking for in that?
I think I have found what I'm looking for now. Yeah, yeah. It was in the basement.
Oh, hello. I'm fucking raging about this keyboard, you know. I think what it is, I went to take my dehumidifier out of its big dehumidify tower thing, and I must have spilt a shitload in it and not noticed. Because the shed's got any signs of water damage. There's a fucking 200 quid Razer keyboard. I'm raging.
Go shove it in a bowl of rice.
I'm going to stick it in the airing cupboard. I'm going to stick it in the airing cupboard, and I haven't got an airing cupboard. I don't know what I'm going to do.
How are you going to do that then?
I don't know. I'm fucking... Something's got to fix it.
Probably just swing it around your head a lot till all the water comes out. That might work.
Yeah, maybe.
What are you vaping on, Mark?
Take it apart.
Me. Excuse me.
Oh, nice.
I am vaping on the Lost Vape Orion.
Cool.
And in that, I am vaping Cloudy Lemonade from Jeffrey's Vintage Vape. I'm an Old Faithful.
Yeah.
The old V-God Trick Life. On top, the Berserker. And on that, 12 milligram mint from Juice Source or V4 Vapor. I'm also vaping on the old Asmodus with the Churchill on top.
That's a bit of class, that, mate.
And in that, I am vaping Hot Cross One from Cotton and Cable.
Hey!
Very nice.
I don't think I've ever had a hot cross bun vape before. I'm intrigued as to how it works.
You have to try it.
Yeah, I'd never tried hot cross bun either. I'd had like a load of cinnamon kind of flavours, like cinnamon churros and stuff like that. But yeah, the raisins and the chunks of citrus in hot cross bun just absolutely kill it.
Yeah, it's quite cheap as well. I think it's like 1 a penny or 2 a penny, something like that.
Amazing.
I shouldn't have laughed so hard at that one. That was terrible, mate.
Hashtag dad jokes.
So what were you vaping on, Chris, before you started messing around with your keyboard?
I have been vaping on the Orion.
Nice.
So did I send you a picture of how many coils that turned up at my house, Mark?
A few.
I had a fucking bit of a hissy fit because the 0.5 coils were impossible to get hold of for about a week. And I had enough coils to last me until they come back and stop. You know when you start panicking? Like when you're driving or something, it was pissing water all over me. You're leaving mod somewhere and it's right next to you, but you're like, where the fuck is it? Like, panicking. I was like that with the lack of coils available in the UK market. So when they became available, I just bought a fuck ton of them because I'm actually really enjoying it. I vaped nothing really but a billet box for about 3 years, and now I've not touched one for about 4 weeks now since I got this. Not because I don't enjoy it, but because this fits in your pocket a lot better, and I'm not as bothered if I drop this fucking thing. So yeah, I love it. I think it's
Fair enough.
45
Did I see in that picture you had multiple devices as well, or was it just coils?
No, I did buy a second Orion as well. But you know, it takes a lot to impress me. Do you know what I mean? I've been vaping for a good while, and it's taken me a long time to get to a point where I found a device that I love more than anything in the world. Like, I would buy new stuff every week to try something else, and I wasn't buying it as a collector. Oh, partly probably because I'm a collector, but I wasn't buying it overly to collect. I wasn't overly buying it to sell on. I was buying it because I clearly wasn't satisfied with what I had before. And I still hadn't found what I was looking for. But now I found it, you know, in the billet box. It was great. But trying to get hold of a replacement billet box, if your billet box breaks, is impossible. Trying to fucking prevent the billet box for ever getting damaged is impossible. Do you know what I mean? So you end up with this uphill battle trying to fucking keep hold of this mod. I think I did well with it, but finding this where I can fucking use it and it's not going to break the bank if I block it or lose it or whatever, it's kind of, I'm happy. I don't often say that either.
Chris, you're never happy.
I know. I'm not happy with this.
I'm glad you're happy, Chris. I'm glad you found what you were looking for as well, mate.
Do you know what? It's been, honestly, it's got to be 2 years since we've last had a proper chat.
It's definitely about that, mate. Yeah. It's been time. That's it, mate. Back in the day on VIP Vapors, mate.
Fucking hell. I'll tell you what I'm not happy about. This fucking keyboard.
So you keep saying, quit wittering. Fuck's sake, man. You're like an old man. Honest to God.
Dripping freezing cold water on my bollocks, and I can't get the cover off it.
Put your fucking pants on then.
I can't.
Right. Anyway,
if you come on like a newsreader, Chris, if you come on like a newsreader, are you going commando underneath that?
Yeah, naked from the waist down.
JB's not.
Sorry, Mark, I interrupted you.
Not at all. Not at all. Before we get on with the show, then, shall we have a brief introduction of Nadeem, who he is, where he's from, his background?
I like his background. Can we show it?
Yeah, let's show it. Let's show his background. Let's show his background, shall we? So,
I'm proud of it. Proud of it. It was a proud moment, I tell you.
Were you proud of the haircut?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
We'll be doing it. Let's get out of the way. Come on.
I'm alright, standing in the street light. Yeah. Is this meant for me? 'Cause my time on the outside is over. Now we don't know how you're spending all of those days knowing love isn't here. You see the pictures, but you don't know their name. 'Cause love isn't here. I can't do this by myself.
You ain't got a bad pair of lungs on you, have you, boy?
Oh, sorry,
Did
mate.
look a little bit like an emo Noel Gallagher, though. I'm not going to lie.
I had a little cry there, mate. It's quite emotional watching it, you know.
I'm not going to lie. I've taken the piss out of him about this for about 4 years now. But
Yeah.
I still could never dream of having a voice like you, mate. So.
Oh, bless you. Thank you very much. It's totally ruined now, thanks to vaping. No, I'm joking. It's actually greatly improved.
I take it you didn't win.
No, I didn't win at all. No. I got through to the battles, and then
Are those shows as nefarious as they make them out to be? Because they sound like there's like loads of random shit going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, it was there was definitely something going on because I didn't win. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that was, you know, it was clearly a fix. But yeah, you know, it served its purpose for the time, mate. But yeah, it's nice to look back on. You know, 15 minutes of fame, all that lot.
Don't look
Yeah,
back
why
at
not?
it.
Of course, I'm now getting my 30 now that I'm on Vape Talk UK. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm pushing it now.
So,
Mate,
I see. I'd more know you as Lucky Boy from Cheeky Vape.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, that's where I cut my teeth. Yeah, that's where I learned how to taste juice as well. But when I first arrived at Cheeky Vape, I think my favourite juice was. I won't actually mention what my favourite juice was, but it was a very, very sweet juice, a hype juice, full of saccharin, and I couldn't taste anything. And
Come on, we want to know what it is now.
Oh, it was glazed donuts. by Loaded, and I just couldn't taste a thing. And yeah, so when I got to Cheeky, Alex basically taught me how to taste juice. So I owe a lot of my vaping career down to him.
Nice.
Props, Alex. There you go. Big shout out, Alex.
So what's the deal with Cotton and Cable then? How's that come about?
So yeah, I come across Cotton and Cable about 6 months ago. I was working in a shop, and they came in, and I fell in love with them instantly. I don't know about you guys, but I got like sick to death of subpar flavour with like loads of sweetener in it. That just has no exhale on it whatsoever. And the woman that came in to try and sell me Cotton and Cable, I was looking for those elements, you know, in the juice. Just to get rid of her because I didn't have time. And I spent the next hour and a half with her because the juice was just on point. And I hadn't really tasted anything like that in a very, very long time. So, yeah, I came to work for him.
You'd outlive that little midget, eh?
You what, sorry, mate?
That little midget had outdone his uses.
That little midget is what?
Outlived his usefulness.
Yeah. And so, yeah, basically, yeah, that's it. Yeah, but I absolutely love them, man. I mean, they're a great little company to work for. I'm pretty much out on the road like all day, going around to independents, and my job's been really easy so far. As soon as I'm opening that lovely case behind me, which has got all the testers in, and getting it in front of people, they're buying it straight away. So, yeah, it's a banger.
I think a lot of it's down to your sales technique. I've got to be honest.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yes. It's quite a violent sales technique, isn't it, Mark? I mean,
You've suffered at the hands of it, Mark.
it's never had the rep grabbing by the nuts, like physically grabbing by the nuts before.
So the case opens, and here, try this. So,
Yeah.
how many should I put you down for?
Amazing. He didn't just crack you around the head with the case and run off with your till then.
Oh, come on, Mark. We did a little bit more, whining and dining than that, mate. I'm sure I put my finger under your chin, gave you a little wiggly wig at one point.
Do you not sing a little jaunty tune?
That would be dope, wouldn't it? To just kind of be the singing salesman.
A little tune, and you can be like like a singergram, but you can do it with juices. I would buy it purely for the singing skill alone.
My bosses actually want me to do that, implement all aspects of my talents within the sales role, but I'm not too keen on it, mate. Do you know what I mean?
There we go. According to John Fox, TYV have also got it in stock.
Absolutely, yes.
They are for Dale to pick a juice up. That's got to be good.
You know what, mate? That was like, I mean, obviously, the biggest highlight in my career was selling juice to the amazing Vape Expo over in Leicester. Nothing really kind of beats that. I need to say that straight away. But it was a bit of a highlight for me, man, because I've been, Chris knows, I've been following Dale and all the boys over at Yorkshire Vaper for a long time. So to come in and buy the juice was a bit of a personal achievement, really. So yeah.
So what is it about Cotton and Cable? Because so you went to Expo, didn't you? Yeah.
Yes.
And you probably noticed how much shit there was there, right? Just mountains and mountains of shit, right? So what is it that makes Cotton and Cable stand head and shoulders above all the other people doing a lot of the same sort of stuff?
Do you remember 2014?
Yeah.
Just enough said. Like it's, you know, like I'll tell you what sets us out is that, like I said at the beginning, I got really tired of that kind of hollow flavour with tons of sweetener in it. What really sets us out is the inhale on every single flavour is slightly different to the exhale. So it's a full kind of vaping experience. So you get that complexity and the layers like within the juice. But also like what you're left with on the aftertaste is exactly what it's supposed to taste like. Like the hot cross bun tastes exactly like you've eaten hot cross buns. It's not like you're trying to sort of, you know, make that flavour profile up in your mind whilst you're vaping it to convince yourself, oh yeah, that does taste like it. Like, do you know what I mean?
90% of companies do.
Yeah, right. And you know, for me, that's been my experience on the vape scene. Like, there's just been so much stuff out there. I think after TPD, you know, just the juice got terrible. And you know, I used to sell juice, not over at Cheeky, but some of the other stores that I'd worked at. You know, I'm having to sell juice that I don't believe in at all. Like, it doesn't, and it was horrible. You know, so yeah, that's what I think really sets us out in the market. Really high on concentrate, really high on aftertaste, and the flavours just on point.
Cool, sweet. Yeah, accuracy is a big thing, because a lot of times someone will say, for example, oh yeah, this is a strawberry shortcake with cheesecake and cream. And you taste it, like, you get a bit of strawberry, you get a bit of cream. And they're like, can you not taste it? It sounds amazing. And then we make our own concentrates and it's better than everyone else. You're like, well, yeah, I've tried 3 today that are like this. Like, you know, so when you hit that one on the head that is like super accurate, and that just changes everything. Especially, there's no inhale on vapes a lot of the time. No,
or no exhale. It's kind of either or, isn't it? You know, I mean, we could all do it tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? We could go and start up a juice company. I don't know, call it VTUK Liquids or something. You know, go to a white lab company, buy a few thousand followers on Instagram, get it over to a distro. All of a sudden, you're in every single vape shop across the country. But it don't mean to say that we've paid any attention to flavour. And you know, I mean, our mixologist, for instance, I know that he sits down before making any of the flavours and makes every single dessert over and over and over again to make sure that he understands exactly what ingredients are in there. So, for instance, like in the hot cross bun, there's little undertones of citrus in there. Yeah, so I know that citrus is actually a Seville orange, you know, as opposed to just a normal orange. Do you know what I mean? So it's little things like that the attention to detail that just really shows. I mean, it's not cheap to make. You know, this juice is not cheap to make at all. And I think that's one of the reasons why there's so much guff out there, is because, you know, it's cheaper to make bad liquid that just about tastes like it. But yeah, ours is expensive to make, and you can tell that in the flavors, you know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, see, it is good to see companies putting a bit of time in. I mean, I know one of my favorite juice companies, Animal, who seem to have just completely disappeared off the scene. Their juice is spot on. I mean, Looper, I can't find Looper anywhere.
No.
At all. I don't know what happened to him, but their mixologist, what's his name, Philip J. Rock, or whatever the hell his name was. You know, he always, when I spoke to him at one of the first vape jams, and he was saying the same thing about having accurate flavors and spending time going over them and knowing what is going into the things that he's making.
Yeah. It's so important. It's a lost art, I think, these days. You know, but yeah.
But where are you guys based?
We are based in South East London, over in Carl Shulton. So again, we're like, I think we're one of the only.
There?
You did, yeah? Whereabouts?
I used to live in Epsom.
Oh yeah. We're not a million miles away from there.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so I think we're actually one of the only like London-based manufacturers at the moment. I can't think of anybody else that kind of manufactures in London at the moment.
And London doesn't have a vape scene really, which is weird.
Yeah.
It's like non-existent. Say again, Chris?
Yeah.
Because the real estate's so expensive.
Yeah.
I think that's partly to do with it. Yeah. So yeah, we're based over there.
2,000 square feet office is going to cost you more than your house will.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, so that's where we're based, and we've got an ISO 7 lab over there. So it's about to become an ISO 5 lab as well, actually. So we're going we're going super clean.
Nice.
Mm.
That shit's expensive.
Yeah. Nothing that we do is, you know, we don't cut corners with anything. So yeah, but again, I just think that really shows in the flavour, you know. So
Fair enough,
yeah.
Man. It was interesting to see this weekend. What you could see the effort different companies have put into their juices, and some of the stands I know for sure had 30,000 different juices on, supposedly all by them. And others, they had like 4 bottles in front of them, and you knew that those were the ones to go to because they had 4 bottles. That was it. So you knew they'd spent the time.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it depends on what you're trying to get out of Expo, because you'd think that people would go to the ones that people had spent a lot of time on, but these big stands that have shitloads of liquids, people go there, they're drawn in by the fact that they might potentially get a load of free shit.
Yeah, basically. I mean, there was very little free shit going unless you happened to go to one of their little giveaway sessions. But you couldn't just walk up to a stand and go, "Give me free shit." But if you wanted to buy cheap shit, yeah, go there. You know, that's where you went to buy cheap shit. But then emphasis on the shit, because a lot of it was, you know, a lot of it was. And it was amazing to see how few stands had drippers as their testers. They were just using whatever fucking tank they had nearby as their testers.
I think that's always been the case, really, though, hasn't it? Because a lot of the time, people have always used like Clitos or whatever. It's not usually a dripper thing.
We use drops on our testers.
There we go.
Yeah, we use drops, mate. I just find them so much better for flavour. But again, you know, that's not cheap to maintain either, is it? Do you know what I mean?
No, of course it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Sam's saying I only had 6.
So Nadeem, talk us through some of your flavours. Then I'm just going to put a screenshot up.
There we go. Yeah. So we have custard tart, eat and mess. We have hot cross bun, upside down cake, baked apple, and buttermint. So the custard tart is a very rich and creamy custard, which is folded in a light and crispy pastry. The fruitful is I absolutely love fruitful. It's a really complex blend. I think there's about 19 ingredients in there that make up the sort of 7 flavors that are there. So you've got apple, you've got orange, there's banana, there is mixed wild berries, pear, and then the cream in there as well. And normally I don't like flavors that have got that many sort of profiles going on, because I'm like, I need to be able to taste every single one of them, or I'm just going to call your juice rubbish. And fruitful, just the blend on that is just absolutely out of this world. With baked apple, very, very fresh, crisp apple with some winter spices in there and brown sugar. The eat and mess, a lot of eat and messes out there at the moment, from what I've tasted, are just strawberry creams. Like, that's all they seem to be. In fact, I tried one guy's juice,
pretty much.
I tried one guy's juice that was a strawberry cream. It was labelled as a strawberry cream, and he said, "Oh yeah, we've got eat and mess." And I was like, "Mate, like, eat and mess is strawberry, blackberry, raspberry, broken meringue, and whipped cream. Like, that's what's in an eat and mess." And we've got all of those ingredients in there. As a few people on the chat are shouting about, the hot cross bun is doing very well at the moment. That's a really unique flavour. So obviously you've got the raisin, the cinnamon, you've got the dough in there, and the citrus soaked dough, which is really unique, I think. So yeah, what else have we got? The buttermint. I really love the buttermint. That
is that like a Murray mint style?
Yeah, so I guess Murray mints are a buttermint. So this is your kind of creamy.
I saw that.
Hang on, right. Nadeem.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried a Murray mint?
I have, yeah.
Oh, you have? I swear we had a conversation. You were like, "I've never tried a Murray mint."
Yeah, no, I
I think,
tried.
Mark, your mint tastes like Murray mint.
So I'd never actually had buttermints until I'd come across Cotton and Cable. And when I was down in Brighton, seeing some stockists down there, I thought I'm going to have to try some buttermints. So I actually had like an original buttermint down there from, I think it was Tom's Ye Old Sweet Shop or something like that, just to kind of compare it. But yeah, so I've had Murray mints before, but buttermint's a slightly different flavour to that. It's a bit more creamy. But yeah, again, it's absolutely on point. A lot of people are picking up chocolate and chocolate notes from it, but there's no chocolate in it whatsoever. So I think that's just something that the brain does, which is quite interesting. Yeah, but I really like that. It's doing very well. And then upside down cake. The upside down cake for me, like, really just demonstrates our mixologist's attention to detail, because the very first batch of it was really, really pineapple-y, like on the front, a really nice sort of authentic pineapple. It wasn't that kind of, you know, plasticky pineapple that you can get. Yeah. And when he first gave it to me, I was like, oh, that's absolutely amazing. Really, really strong on the pineapple, and then you've got that sponge on the back. And he kind of sort of scratched his head a little bit and went back to it. And when he gave it to me again, I was like, where's all the pineapple gone? And then he gave me a slice of upside down cake to eat next to it. And that's when I just knew how much of a genius he was, because like the pineapple upside down cake, when you eat it, is more of a sort of pineapple juice soaked sponge. So the pineapple actually sits back. So you've got a nice subtle pineapple with a really rich kind of sponge on the front. It's a really nice blend. Yeah.
To be honest, I'm getting excited just hearing about it.
I would, mate.
I'm not really, you know, I'm sort of past that stage. My first question for any person trying to sell me liquid at the minute is, does it come in 45 milligram? I think that's just the nature of the beast. I've sort of outlived my vaping journey in the realms of like IVG, and do you know what I mean? But I'm really intrigued by it, to be honest. I'm really intrigued.
Yeah, it's a stunning little range, and it's, you know, it's something that I've been vaping on literally non-stop for the last 6 months. I was sponsored by them to start with, and so I got to really know the flavours then. And legitimately, other than this bottle here, mate, that's the only thing that I've vaped for the last 6 months. And I'm a snob, you know. Alex over at Cheeky turned me into a juice snob, mate. You know, I used to frequent my local vape shops.
You're a fan.
What's that, mate?
You're a fan of PJ Bros, weren't you?
I tell you what, mate. Yeah, that OG Superior, mate, was absolutely banging. Yeah, yeah. And they did Hazers as well, didn't they? PJ Bros did Hazers, and their tux was out of this world. Just the way it was steeped in layers and stuff. So that's what I mean. Like, you know, that's the kind of juice I'm into. That real kind of complex flavour. I mean, Mark, I know that's why you pointed me in the direction to your rhubarb and ginger gin, is because it's something, you know, different, and it really is. I mean, it tastes exactly like what it's supposed to, and that's what I'm interested in. You know, I want flavours that sort of tantalise me, and that I can keep vaping. Which, like you said, Chris, you know, it's very rare these days, man. Just get bored all the time, innit?
Yeah, that's it. I think, like, I don't know. It's the same with hardware, though. Do you know what I mean? I've got here a fucking glass filing cabinet, not filing cabinet, what are they called? Display cabinet. You'd have in a shop, and there's 4 shelves, and every single shelf, I can't move a bottle of liquid without knocking a bottle off. And I haven't touched any of it for about fucking 2 years. And it's not because the juice is shit either. Like, some of that juice is fucking awesome. It's just that I don't vape that sort of stuff anymore. Vape well, Mark did it with the rhubarb and ginger gin. That got me. I fucking thoroughly. I mean, it was my suggestion, but it's fucking incredible. And the thing is, I'm addicted to rhubarb and ginger gin, the actual stuff. So for me, I was really skeptical about how it was going to come out, especially like the conversations we had. Because getting gin right is going to be a cunt. Rhubarb can be done by anyone, but most rhubarb concentrates are the sweet type, you know, like the rhubarb and custard sweets. So I was really fucking dreading him murdering my favourite drink. And actually, it was fucking spot on.
Everyone that's tried it that I've given it to has absolutely fucking loved it.
I don't think you need to like rhubarb or ginger to like rhubarb and ginger gin.
No. A lot of people have been saying that the rhubarb's kind of sharp, but I think that's just down to personal preference. But everyone's like the juice as a whole.
Yeah, but you drink a bottle of Edinburgh gin's rhubarb and ginger gin neat, like me and Mark did, and you taste it. It's got a sharp rhubarb. It's got a fiery ginger hit at the end of it, and you know, yes, it's not quite. But we said this before it was even out, didn't we, Mark? It's not going to be for everyone's taste, but not everyone likes rhubarb and ginger gin. So you wouldn't buy it if you knew you fucking hated the drink, because it's supposed to taste like the drink does, and it does. It fucking really does, and it's amazing.
Just on that, like with the sharpness of the rhubarb, what I found with it is I start to notice that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, there's that sort of really sharp rhubarb, and just as it gets almost too sharp for me, the ginger seems to kick in, which kind of just dulls that off a little bit and just changes the flavour from a rhubarb into a ginger. Absolutely, yeah. So just as it's about to get too sharp, like you say, that ginger just kicks in, and then I'm left with. Initially, I thought it was a little bit too sour, like on the aftertaste. But then I realised that that's the taste of gin. I haven't had a glass of gin in about 5 years, so yeah, I've forgotten what alcohol tastes like. But yeah, then I realised, oh, well, yeah, no, that's gin. So it's.
I'm so glad it doesn't taste like an alcoholic drink. If you see what I mean, it doesn't have that alcohol taste.
Yeah, me too, mate. I'll be back in rehab before you knew it.
But it's not an amalgamation of rhubarb and ginger and gin all splashed together, though. That's what I like about your description of your juices, because whether they live up to what you say or not, that's what I like about a juice, where you can taste the rhubarb, you get the ginger, and then you get the sharpness of gin. And that,
absolutely,
that is what's missing out of a lot of juices these days, because they are literally an amalgamation of what it says on the tin. So yes, it tastes like, you know, I don't know, strawberry churros in cream and lesbian jam, but you're tasting it all at once. And I'm the sort of person, when I eat a meal, I like it, you know, I'll have a bit of pie with a bit of mash, or I'll have a bit of gravy with a bit of sausage, but I wouldn't mix it all up and blend it and then drink.
He does love a bit of sausage as well.
I do love a bit of pie and all. Cream pie.
But no, you're absolutely right, and I think that is what sweetener does. You know, it just literally binds everything together, so that there is no complexity in flavour anymore. You know, there is no real sort of layers and stuff. It's just so much sweetener in it, just to get the level of concentrate down, because it's cheaper that way, obviously. That all the flavours just bind together in one lump. I mean, again, and that is something that, you know, really sticks out with cotton and cable is that layers. You know, and the ability to sort of pick out absolutely everything that's in there throughout the vaping experience. You know, sometimes, like with the Fruit Full, sometimes you'll get a really big orange inhale, and then you'll exhale the kind of banana, the cream, and maybe a bit of pear, and then, you know, another time that you vape it, it'll be a totally different experience. You know, and
level. So
what's that?
Does it vary at heat levels? Like, depending on how hot the vape is, it changes the flavour a bit.
I think it does slightly. I mean, we look at, you know, we test on drops, obviously, and they're running around about 85 watts. We also test on Valerians, which go up to sort of 100 watts. I vape like a 007 build, so I'm probably on about 3,000 watts or something. I don't know. And you know, I don't find that the flavour really sort of changes that much. But yeah, I mean, certainly, like with the fruit full, like I think it's the antidote to vapor's tongue. Can I just come right out there and say it? If anyone suffers from vapor's tongue, if that is a thing anymore, it used to be. But yeah, vape fruit full, that will sort you out.
I think the problem that we have in this day and age, and I sound like an old cunt when I say this, but when you've been vaping 5-6 years, you kind of are the old cunts of the vaping industry. But
yeah,
I think 5 or 6 years ago, the flavors were made from base flavors, and ethyl maltol wasn't a massive thing. And do you know what I mean? So you could get vapor's tongue because you'd forget what your juice tastes like. But I think now 90% of the juices on the market, you forget what they taste like as soon as you start vaping them.
Yeah.
If you took a label,
You're not wrong.
if you took a label off the bottle of, I don't know, 20, say you'd take 20 different bottles of juice from, you know, various hype juice companies, and you took the label off half of them, I guarantee that probably 4 out of 20 you'd be able to tell me what the flavor profile is supposed to be. And this is it. It's fucking madness.
But that goes to say that a lot of juices just taste like everything else. And and I think, like you're saying about,
because a lot of companies, they spent their time, like hype juice come out, like Pancake Man, for example, and then there was 12 companies trying to release pancake flavored juices. Yeah, it's because they were trying to get on the hype train that that Pancake Man had made, but instead of making a better pancake, they just went for syrup flavor because that's all you could taste in Pancake Man, and it wasn't anything to do with the juice being incredible. It was the fact it was cheap as fuck and everyone sold it. The juice itself was dog shit. It tasted okay, but your coils were fucked after 7 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think sweetener is just a mask for lazy development as well. Because if all you can taste is sweetness, you're not getting anything else. I mean, I often liken it to people when you got Willy Wonka's like meal in a chewing gum, and you get that journey of the flavor. And I think as pretentious as it can come across, I think if you've got different flavors at different parts of the vape, that is much more enjoyable than you get a massive blast of it and you've got 50 different flavors all in one. Now, don't get me wrong, there are vapes out there where the amalgamation is more than the sum of its parts. You need that combination to make the flavor. But if you're going to say, oh, this is a cheesecake with strawberries and chocolate, I want to taste those three things separately. I don't want this massive sweet cream and probably a little bit of something in there, because then you start trying to overthink it and you placebo yourself into thinking that it tastes like that.
That's living up to the expectations that they lay down. When you get a juice, and you know, some companies do it, where the flavor profile is mix of fruit, you taste it, it tastes a bit fruity, and it doesn't matter what fucking what fruit they've put in it, you're getting what you pay for. When a company takes you on that journey with that flavor profile, you know, a sweet, crunchy cinnamon base with layers of blueberries and you expect it to take you on the journey that it describes, and it doesn't live up to the hype it gives itself a lot of the time.
I mean, lately,
go on, mate.
Right, the moment of truth, lads.
Lately, what I found a company called UK Labs, and they've only been around like 6 months or so, but for accurate flavors, they are one of the best. Now, they have got flavors which are just like energy drinks, and they've got gummies and stuff like that. They have that to their thing, but they do like an exotics range, and they say that, you know, this one's like guava and yuzu. Yuzu lemon, and you get those two things in quite clear, separate, obvious flavors. Their energy range, they say, oh, it's a grape and nice. They say it's like a grape and blueberry, and it's got a cold hit to it, and that's what you get. So even though they're simple flavors, what you get is exactly what they say it is, and they don't go in for the wanky descriptions a lot of the time. So I'm actually really impressed with the company that can produce what they say they are, even if what they're producing isn't necessarily a groundbreaking mix of flavors. It's just good, solid, decent juice. And actually, that's more impressive than someone that tries to do the world's most complicated thing and cocks it up, or does it to a mediocre level.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely. That's how I was schooled, you know. I mean, I used to do all the sampling, you know, for shops that I worked in and stuff, and I had a criteria, you know, is that if it said it had 3 flavors in and I could only taste 2, it's going in the bargain bin. You know, if it says that it's a strawberry and peanut caramel, what's it, you know, then I have to be able to taste all of that stuff. Otherwise, it's just going in the bargain bin. I'm just going to call it shit, you know. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that's really, really important, because for the consumer, you know, sometimes, mate, when you're looking for a bottle of juice, you know, and you're desperate to find something new, and you go and put your hard-earned money, you know, across the counter somewhere, putting your faith in something because it sounds like the sort of thing that you want to vape, and you get it home and it tastes absolutely naff. Do you know what I mean? I think we're just ripping off the consumers at the end of the day. If I see a hot cross bun on a shelf, I want it to taste like a hot cross bun. I don't want it to taste like a cinnamon churros or I don't know, a raisin donut or something. I want it to taste like a hot cross bun. And that's why you should go out and buy a hot cross bun from Vape Expo right now.
And I think a certain level of respect has to be given to the companies that are willing to just go for a simple flavor. There's another range that I tried recently called Botanics, and I think the company's just called Own Boy. It's not Own Boy OC or anything to do that. I think they're just called Own Boy. But their Botanics range, they do it's like a rhubarb and I think it's pear and something else. I can't remember the flavor profiles, but really clean, no sweeteners, not a coil killer, and they're simple, but they taste fantastic. And yet they're still not too over the top. They haven't over concentrated it. They're just clean juices. And I mean, that's one that I sell, and that's how I tried it. And I was actually really impressed to see something that wasn't trying to be as cold as anything or this. I mean, they do a white grape and peach, and it's just the most refreshing thing ever. So it's nice to see simplicity coming back a little bit, because I think to a certain degree, super complicated stuff has kind of had its day a little bit, and people are still doing it. They're just doing it badly, and which is killing itself.
It's been another test, see if the USB port fucking works.
Is he still going on about his bloody keyboard?
He is.
It cost me 200 note. The fucking cup was full of water.
What you've got to bear in mind, Nadeem, Chris is like a child.
Right, yeah. I'm getting that. I'm picking that up, yeah. I see Badger's put on there, you're watching Keyboard Test UK. Yeah.
You do testers, Nadeem?
Do we do testers?
Yeah, they're 50 ml in size and they're 15 quid a bottle.
Yeah, there you go. How testing is that?
That's testing my patience.
Yes. Do you know what? As a company, we don't do like 10 mil testers. I'm really adverse to just like getting a load of 10 mil testers and throwing it out onto a mailing list. Do you know what I mean? And then calling the shops back. And do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a bit rude actually, because I know from when I worked in shops. Oh, go on.
You got mountain to them
where people can buy, 10 mil of each flavour and give them a try, because they are a bit out there. Do you know what I mean? Like
they are, yeah.
I'm not saying that what you're saying is not true, but if I wanted to try, if I was going to brave a hot cross bun juice, it's either going to be amazing or it's going to be shit. There's not going to be an in between for a juice that's out there like that. And I'm not saying that it's not the amazing side of things, but I wouldn't go straight in for a pill myself. But again, I'm not vaping these sort of juices anymore, so I suppose it doesn't really matter.
Sure, yeah. Well, I make sure that we only go out to independents, right? So we don't give our juice to distros. I work solely with independent vape shops, so I make sure that most of the vape shops that I work in have got testers. So when you're walking into their store, you can try cotton and cable in house. Do you know what I mean? But to be honest with you, mate, like if you wanted to buy a bottle, Chris, and you weren't happy with it, I'd be happy to give you, the money back out of my own pocket, mate. It's bang on.
It's not that. It was just a question because, like, for me, when I see a juice line that's out there, well, I'm talking about my previous vaping journey. Like, I'm not talking now because I don't vape it. I wouldn't vape it. You'd send it to me, I'd vape it. I'll tell you what I thought, and it'd sit on a shelf for the rest of its life. Do you know what I mean? It's a waste of time sending me big bottles of juice. It's just not worth doing.
But goddamn, if you send him a 10 ml bottle, he'll cry like a bitch and demand 100 ml.
No, but
that's me.
Chris is the epitome of free shit hunter.
Fuck off. No, but like with the likes of Jeffries or the Cocktail Dreams, a lot of them I had an input in suggestions of what he should make. I had nothing in a way of how he made them or what he put in them. But those, I vaped the fuck out of them because I wanted to, see how good they were going to be. The same with when the vintage vapes come knocking, the Iron Brew, the cream soda, the orange one, they got fucking tanned. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I kind of vaped a lot, like during the testing phase. But then I'd carry my billet box with me during the day. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like I'd sit there in an evening and I'd try it. Do you know what I mean? I'd go back to it a couple of days later, see how it was. I'd vape it. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, and I think it's a good point. What I'll do is I'm going to put that to our manufacturing department because they're just sitting there twiddling their thumbs right now. So not busy at all. I'll put that to the manufacturing team and get them to produce a little tester bottle range. Especially, can we call it Chris's tester range?
Yeah, do it. No, but I mean, if you, I don't know, how many flavors are there? 7?
Just 7,
6.
yeah.
7. So if you did 7 10ml bottles for 20 quid, and people could try a bit of each, and then they could pick up the ones they wanted. Because
it's a bloody good idea.
I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. So going into a vape shop to try it is just not, it just doesn't happen. I don't go into vape shops very often, and I don't really spend my time at the tester bar testing juices that I know are going to be, not like yours are, but in the vape shops I go in, like round here, Vaporized, there is a few independent ones that only sell the same juice in every shop. So I know what to expect. They've got nasty juice, they've got nasty air juices, and that's all they have. Do you know what I mean? So I don't bother doing any of that anymore. So for me, being able to buy, you know, one of each, give them all a bit of a test. If I liked them, I could buy bigger bottles. It's you know, but that's just me personally. I only buy bottles of juice when I'm desperate to you know, vape them. I even paid for that bottle of rhubarb and ginger gin, Mark. So you can fuck yourself. I think it's the first bottle of juice I bought in about 3 years.
You did, but how many bottles did you get in that package?
Yeah, but I didn't demand them. I'm just glad I got them. I was grateful. Posted a picture somewhere once.
I think it's a good idea, and like Dave Vape, I do like the idea of a 10ml tester pack. I think it is a good idea. I'll certainly put that to our production team and see if they can, you know, create something like that. Absolutely, but so far, you know, we haven't really had many problems with that. I think people are kind of buying just based on the uniqueness of the flavors, and they're simply just not being disappointed by it and coming back to it. So yeah,
I don't see it being a disappointment, and I know through, you know, your reputation from your time at Cheeky Vape, I know that you don't put stock in dog shit. You wouldn't do it. Like, I think that's part of Alex ingraining that into you, because that's how Alex. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't buy gin unless it was the creme de la creme. But the fact of the matter remains, from people like myself, I wouldn't go out and buy a 120ml bottle of anything unless I'm, you know. But that's just me, and I've been vaping 45mg salts for 3 years, so that's probably why.
Not really our target market, Chris, are you?
No, I'm not.
But no, I appreciate it. It is worth mentioning, if I can plug them, that Cheeky Vape do stock cotton and cable, so it's just got Alex's seal of approval on as well.
Well, it's like Sam says, he does those 10ml tester packs, and actually a couple of them I would have bought in bigger bottles if I vaped like that. Do you know what I mean? But it gives me an idea of the whole line, because a lot of companies, they have standout juices that they sell 10 times more than they do of anything else. They manufacture 10 times more than they do of anything else, and they push that because they've made so much of it. Whereas I can't a single juice in your line that sounds shit. None of them sound shit. They all sound amazing, but there's going to be ones that I love and there's going to be ones that I hate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I feel that. Well, what do you think, Mark, about doing little 10ml testers? Is that something you do? Your juices?
It's something we do. We do sample packs that go out to retailers. But there's nothing sexy about them. They are what they are. They go out, padded envelope, end of. Now it's something, because our vintage vape line, there's 8 in the line, and obviously we're 100ml bottles as opposed to yours that are 60, and it's a big ask to, you know, for someone to buy blind. I think it's got legs. I don't even suggest selling
giving away tester packs. Like you probably might need to, if there's a shop that you're interested in, you know, getting into that's a fucking 600-mile journey for you. It might be worth sending them a sample pack. But you know, for someone like
no, you
yourself,
mean for the consumer, like doing like a sample pack rather than a tester, like try all of our flavors at a discounted rate, sort of thing. Yeah. No, I feel that. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't need to cost you a penny because you'd sell it for more. You still make a bit of profit on it, even as tester range. But it's like, I have bought packs of like 3 or 6 or whatever, 10 mils that I know are all zero nic, and I know that there's no room in the bottle for me to bother sitting there measuring out, you know, a dribble of nicotine to spice them up. But I bought them to try them because I've been interested in the range, but I know that I'm not going to vape a big bottle because I don't vape like that anymore. Now, for me, at the minute, I've just designed another mech mod, which got showcased at Expo this weekend.
Nice.
And so I've been testing that fucker out, and I've been raping the Jeffries lines. Like, they're absolutely just destroyed because it's one of the only juices I've got in big bottles that I know I love.
You know you're supposed to vape them, Chris, not rape them, yeah? There is a distinct difference.
Sorry.
Is that what it is?
You got the consonant in the wrong place.
That's right. You're mixing your metaphors, mate.
On that note, I do realise that we're an hour into the show, and I know Cass is desperately eager, chomping at the bit to sit and talk about Expo this weekend.
Nice, yeah.
Last weekend, not this weekend.
Last one just gone.
Last one just gone. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it.
You didn't want to go. Don't lie.
There we go. I made sure.
Every Expo, I'm not going. And then 2 days before, or on the day, you just see this fucking head 3 feet above everyone else's, bobbing through the crowd. And you're like, what the fuck's that cunt doing here? This time, I thought he was going to do the same thing, but my sources tell me he genuinely didn't go. Surprised by
he didn't.
That's probably why it's not as good as it normally is, though, because Mark weren't there, I weren't there. It's just disappointing.
That's it. Who else is going to drink all the...
I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm actually on earlies again next week, so I'll be on for a full show. Fuck me.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Right. It's been nice catching up with you. You were kind of the decider of whether I actually come on for the first hour or not. I heard you were coming on. I was like, I've got to come say hello and talk about the voice. But that's me. I'm out. Yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm considering buying a hot cross bun. I may or may not do, but yeah, I wish you all the best, and it fucking goes well for you, mate.
Thanks, mate. I really appreciate it, mate. Thanks a lot. You'll have to DM me your postcode for loads of free shit that you're obviously, you know, on the hunt for, yeah. And and I hope you do well at your job in Maplin's, mate, and you get some good keyboards sorted out, yeah.
You know what? I'm fucking proud of myself. To be fair, I took the cunt apart and dried it, and then put it back together. I didn't really do a lot.
You've done well.
Right,
you've done well. You've done that all live on Vape Talk UK as well, which is a phenomenal achievement, mate. So well done, Chris.
I'll catch you boys later.
Have a good one, mate.
Fella.
See you later,
See
mate.
you later, mate. So, we can have a sensible one now. Oh no, let's change that round.
Dear.
Let's go, Cass,
Hey.
and Cass. There we go. So we've got the Cass show now.
Yep, this is me. Yeah. So Expo this weekend. As like you said earlier, you went, didn't you, Nadeem? So you're kind of going to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I went to the business day, so I wasn't there for the Saturday and Sunday, so I didn't get to see a lot of the hullabaloo that was there. But yeah, I certainly went on business day and had a little look around. Yeah.
So put it this way, next in May, I will be going on business day. So let me talk you through my Expo experience.
Sorry, just very quickly. It's made me laugh, the amount of people that are sad to see Chris to go. Oh, hang on. Fucking hell.
Oh, Keith. Hey, he's here. Oh, what the fuck are you wearing?
Pizza.
What are you wearing? Pizza.
No,
A coil hooch.
I'm eating pizza.
Ah.
Coil hooch. Is that anything like a gooch or?
It's a coochie.
Anyway,
Right.
Cass.
It's cut size. There you go. It's
Cass.
something I picked up over the weekend.
So
Cass,
both
your weekend.
Yes. Right.
Your
So
weekend. Go.
Chandler and Dean both went to Expo. They both went on the Friday, right? So they didn't experience this. 5 minutes in the door. No, 5 seconds in the door. And it's like a Moroccan street market, right? I got people trying to shove leaflets in my hands, right? I had some birds sticking a sticker on my thing saying, if you find anyone else with this sticker, bring it to the stand and you get a free whatever, right? I had one person trying to shove us over to their stand, like, right, get out of my face now, please, because this is if I want to come try your juice, I will come and try your juice. If you start shoving me in the way, and then every 5 feet there's someone's like, do you like mango? Do you like dessert? What flavors do you like? It's like, oh my days. Right, so terrible.
Chris,
Why is this
terrible
Why is
entrance.
this different? Why is this different to the Friday? I'm sorry, but
Was
what?
Friday like that as well?
Oh yeah, that's just
See,
Expo.
I just had it
Cass,
in my
did
mind
you
that
start
Friday
the
was.
fight, mate?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Was it you that started the fight? It was you that started. With that little
Yeah,
description, it sounded like you were the angry man that started that fight. Is that what you're admitting to right now?
Right, so Diddy's just described it perfectly in the chat. Expo was vape rape. Like,
Right.
I had it in my head that the B2B was this sort of slightly more sophisticated professional day where you could go along and chat business with your suppliers or your whoever. No, okay, Chandler's nodding his head, right? So I go there and it's essentially exactly the same stands that were there last time, but they're 3 times the size. The space in between them's 3 times the size, and all the little guys are not there. Modders Gallery deleted. That's not there this time.
Gone. Yeah.
Gone forever.
Where'd they
right?
go?
Although, to be fair, the last time I went to the Modders Gallery, half of them had left because they sold out of the 3 unique mods they make. And that, so that was it. Yeah, they make 3 of them and they were all sold. But it was interesting to see how it was different. Now, I hate the stage at Expo. It's a pain in the arse. It's ridiculous. I had a very interesting conversation with someone who I feel was probably just a bit bitter, but they reckon that you had to pay a shitload of money to get on the stage and that the awards that you get from Expo you paid for. So, I don't know whether he was bitter about it or not. But there was some nice stuff there. There was some interesting new stuff. Pods are everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. I walked away with 4 pod systems that I'd never had before. And I only bought 1 of them. So, not too bad.
Well, you did well.
Yeah. Well, I had, what was it? The Just Fog stand were giving away their C601 kit, which actually isn't awful. It's a little bit like the Aspire Cobble for comparison as far as the pod goes, so it's not awful. I got this thing, which is the Cree UFO. Now, if you've never seen one of these, I don't know whether it's even legal, put it this way, because it has, if I can get them out, and I can't get them out because this is the best. 1 pod, 2 pods. It has 2 1.5mm pods in it. And the idea being is that you just choose which one you vape on at the time. So you vape on that side, or you spin it around and you vape on that side.
It looks like a fucking hockey puck. What is that?
It's just a disc, and there's no buttons, there's nothing. You just inhale on it. They fobbed me off with the version that doesn't have the lanyard hook, though, so I can't even hang it around my neck and look like a right bell end.
You could look like a BG.
Yeah. Oh, Sam's saying he got 3 awards, so maybe you don't buy them.
It's fine. You don't need it. You don't need a lanyard to look like a bell end, Kaz.
Oh, thanks. I can't take that from someone in a yellow jumper.
Yellow tie-dye. Yellow tie-dye t-shirt. I went for the layering one. I've got a blue one, which is a little bit more subtle. But I thought I'll put the layering yellow one on for the show.
Yeah, why not? Why not? But for me, the nicest thing about Expo is that when I review juices for companies, the only contact I have with them is through either email or messenger. So to meet the other people on the end of those devices, emailing me and messaging me was actually quite nice, because on a connection side, it's nice to see the people you deal with and talk to them and chat to them in a less formal setting than what is an email talking about the reviews you're doing. So that was the pleasant bit. And as from what I can tell, it was quieter on the Sunday than it was the Saturday. But the amount of just bullshit going on there, like, I don't know if you guys saw the Vape Airways stand.
Oh, mate, don't even talk to me about that. Yeah. Like,
right.
Oh,
were they on the Friday doing this thing where they were walking up and down the aisles as if they were coming out of a fucking airport? Did they do that?
It was you've got the lady. It was as if they were dressed as cabin crew. They've got a trolley behind them, and it was as if they were cabin crew going to the plane.
Yeah, there's four of them in
I saw all the photos that I saw from the show. I saw lots of people carrying these bags around. I don't get the concept. Who are they? What are they? What do they do?
Never heard of them before. No idea what they do. Didn't even bother going to their stand, simply because every 10 minutes we were getting shoved out the way by someone with a camera, because these 4 air hostesses and the 2 pilots stood behind them were walking up and down these very busy aisles for some obvious promo thing. But they literally did it all day, and that was the dumb thing.
The question
didn't
is,
even bother.
Did you get to meet Donald Trump or Gordon Ramsay?
Right, so I didn't meet Gordon Ramsay, but how unlucky do you have to be to look that much like Donald Trump? But this goes back to what we were saying earlier, Nadeem, is that these guys have come up with a concept before they've come up with the juice. Their juice is rank.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not here to talk about other juice companies. I don't like slagging off anyone other than Jeffries, really. But I'm not. But I think you're right. There are companies out there that, like you say, will come up with the concept first of all, and then produce. It's like the phenomenon of He-Man. I don't know if you guys know about He-Man, but most action figures were made after the cartoon. As a kind of, so the kids could play with the cartoon effectively at home, with the toys. Whereas He-Man, they created the action figures first, and then went out and launched the TV show, the cartoon, in order to get people to buy their things. And I think that's what we're talking about there, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like coming up with a concept first, and then thinking about the flavour afterwards. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, some of the best juices I tried of that weekend were on simple stands in the smallest cubicles, and that's not trying to be hipster and be like, oh, I don't like the mainstream. I did try some mainstream juices that were very good, but some of the simpler guys that were just there. I mean, I've got one here, right? And this guy, have you guys ever heard of a company called Blend Feel? No. Right, they're an Italian-based company, and they specialize in NETs, naturally extracted tobaccos. Right, so this is the flavor concentrate for one, right? Now, I tried a load. They have their blends. They sell their juices as either blends or as the raw components of that, which is a kind of cool way of doing it. But they have a very interesting system for mixing it all together, right? So you get this bottle here. This is your base. This is an 80-20 base, I think, but this is 80 ml in a 100 ml bottle.
Okay.
They then give you this thing. All right, now, I don't know if you can see it there. That says 6.0. So this will turn this into 6 milligrams. They also do 3, 4, 9, and 12. What you do with this is you take this blue lid off. You then screw this down on here. Take this tab off and then screw it down. That dumps the nick into the bottle. The idea being is that you don't have to pour it. There's no idea of you spilling it or anything like that. You then add your concentrate. This one is called Latakia. And it's basically, has any of you guys ever had Talisker whiskey?
No.
At all. It's a really peaty, heavy, sort of sharp whiskey. But this tobacco tastes almost exactly like that. And Diddy will back me up on this because he was there with me and he tried it. And it's one of the best tobacco flavors I think I've ever tried it. Unfortunately, for now, it beats the Manabush for accuracy. But Manabush is still very good. It's just a different vape. But yeah, for a naturally, and I'd never had naturally extracted tobaccos before, and it's a whole nother level of tobacco flavor. But I really like this system. Now, I'm not going to do it now because I want to try and save it for the review video, me actually doing the system. But you can go on their website, you can see their promo videos on how it works. And I think it's a really cool system. I just don't think, I think it's quite a lot of plastic wastage, which is kind of my big thing at the moment. And the other thing was at the end of Sunday, the amount of rubbish and dirt around the Stig pod stand was just insane. The amount of torn up and thrown away pods. Yeah, crazy. But it was a fairly enjoyable day. I think there was a lot there, and you had to filter out a lot of the crap. We stayed off the main path a lot of the time just because it was just an assault on the senses more than anything, and it was just too much. So, yeah, and it was nice to see that there wasn't so much CBD. However, Dinner Lady now do CBD, which is mad.
Yeah, I was going to say Dinner Lady CBD was all over the place.
Yeah, there was no testers or anything.
They were just going, Dinner Lady CBD. Okay, great. Just what we need.
Yeah. The fight was hilarious, though.
So, yeah, come on. Right, I missed this, obviously. What the hell? Fight?
So, there was a fight between the Soldier stand, which is SOULJA, and Nasty Juice, right? Now... Right,
I knew Nasty Juice was involved.
Apparently, but if go on, Mark.
I was under the understanding that they weren't involved.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, they went on and done a little video afterwards, and a
20-minute promo video on their new juice.
Yeah.
By the way, we had nothing to do with it.
It was very clever. I thought, fair play to them, actually. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, I didn't see anything. I mean, I wasn't there on the day, but yeah, as far as I know, Nasty Juice weren't involved. Yeah.
No, I mean, from what I gather, and the video that I saw, it was just enjoyable watching a glass cabinet completely disintegrate when someone flew into it. That was hilarious. But
no.
Yeah. The video's on the VTUK chat. Go scroll back a bit. It's there.
Do you know? I so missed that.
Hashtag Vape Fam, right? Hashtag Vape Fam. I mean,
it's like, I mean, I get that there's infighting, but really, what does that achieve? I mean, it's probably just like a your mum joke that went the wrong way, and it's actually blown up to stealing recipes. And yeah, because that's the rumor. Is I heard that someone was stealing recipes, so they had a fight. Mark's apparently has heard something different.
I heard something completely different. I heard someone went up asking for free samples. They said that they hadn't got any, and then they went back with their friends and kicked off. That was what I heard. How true it was, I don't know. But I know literally within minutes of it happening, I was sent the video. It was like, oh, fucking hell. Jungle drums.
Yeah, I mean, this is the other thing about gimmicks, right? It's
free juice.
Yeah. Well, did any of you guys see the zebra juice stand?
There's a lot of people talking about that zebra juice. How is it? Has anyone tried it?
I didn't try it.
I had a little go on it, actually, on the zebra juice. It was okay. I mean, it's kind of like a little bit what we were talking about earlier, It was okay. It wasn't anything that really blew my mind away. There was a couple that were better than the others, I think, but I had a little go. There was a blue raspberry, I think, that I tried, which was okay, but it's it's all right.
I got put off by the drummers and the dancing that happened out the front of the stand. I think that was the bit that put me off. I don't know if they did that on the Friday or not, but
the thing is, though, I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's Expo, right? I mean, this is a time for, for vape companies to exhibit, what they've got and to market to as many people as possible. I mean, I know that when Cotton and Cable, did Expo in 2016, just before the TPD, that's when we launched. It was one of those very sort of what you talked about, a kind of smallish stand. That was very, very classily sort of laid out. There wasn't much sort of in-your-face marketing going on, and we did very well from it. And I think absolutely there's a time and a place for that. But I think it's look, at the end of the day, it's an expo. Do you know what I mean? So whenever I go to an expo, I expect to be, you know, bombarded with marketing. You know, I expect to have that sort of thing going on. So I think, yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, if we had, you know, the sort of the budget to go all out and do something as huge as that, would we do that sort of thing? Have, like, you know, loads of scantily clad women and you know, lots of novel you know, marketing things happening? Probably not. Do you know what I mean?
You could go proper. You could go proper hipster and just turn up with a guitar and just busk.
That's probably what I'll do. I think. Yeah, I think that's what our marketing budget allows for at the moment. It's been to do a couple of numbers.
Sorry, I'm sat here because Lindsay's sat at the side of me, and as I look over, I can see you busking, or there's another song and another song and another song and another. She's obsessed by you. Obsessed.
Is she watching my videos on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god. Super fan. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sorry about that, Mark.
Oh dear. But it, you know, it was to be what it was. It was expected. What it was what I expected of it. Even if I was hassled a lot more than I have been previously. And a lot of the what's funny is it was two ends of the spectrum. It was either a scantily clad woman that was trying to shift you over to the stand, or it was the biggest dude you've ever seen. Like, there was no in between. And it's hard to say no to a dude that's like 9 times wider and taller than you.
All wanted to put juice in your mouth as well.
Oh, this is it.
That's exactly what happened when I first met Mark. I just couldn't say no. Do you know what I mean? It was that exact same scenario. It was this, you know, gargantuan man standing in front of me trying to put juice in my mouth. I had to say yes, you know. I mean,
can't say no, can you really?
No, absolutely.
Standouts of Expo was definitely this blend feel. The Italians do make some good juice. I'll give them that, and we don't get much of it over here, but they do make some fantastic juice.
I'm interested in that. I like the way that the nicotine goes into the bottle. I think it's a very unique idea, and I think there'll be a lot of staff members in vape shops that will be very happy about that. You know, instead of throwing away boxes and bottles and stuff like that. Very, very simple idea. I really like that.
And it looks like a medical bottle, but it still has got a squeezy, nozzly drip tip in there. I am actually going to decant it into a Gorilla bottle when I've mixed it, but that's purely for ease of use. But yeah, really interesting way of doing it. And they literally said, what nick strength do you want? And they could give me what I wanted without having to put 5 or 10 or 12 nick shots in. So I could get 100 mil of 12 milligram, and all I had to do was exactly the same thing as if I wanted a 3 milligram.
Yeah.
And that is genius.
But not exactly legal over here then.
No, although mine is leaking. So there we go. Somehow it's leaking.
I just want to answer a question that was put to me by Keith earlier about will we be launching or making our concentrates available online. Just wanted to respond to that. At the moment, our recipes are top secret. They're locked in the same vault as the recipe 7X, which I believe is in Fort Knox, and that is the recipe for Coca-Cola. So they're being locked down that secretly at the moment. So we won't be releasing our concentrates as yet, but it's not, you know, necessarily something that we wouldn't consider at a later date. So I just wanted to answer that.
Fair enough. Tell you what, as this appears to be leaking, I'm going to do this now on the show, and I will think of something later for the thing. So the idea being, I've got to take this off first.
Oh, we need to see this. Let's full screen him.
So you got your bottle here, and then I'll probably cock this up, but let's try it. This screws down all the way.
Yeah.
Like this. Right, then we pull this tab. I don't know if you can see that. Pull this tab off. Come on. There we go. Like that. And then
what?
This screws down. And let's see if I can do it so you can see it. It's going to be hard to see. There we go. It dumps the nicotine.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Into the juice. There we go. Then
it does look like you've got a bottle of Calpol.
Oh, it does. 100%. There we go. So that comes off, and then we add that madness. And as far as I'm aware, it's just a case of pouring that in because it's just concentrate. The whole point of this system is that you don't have to touch your nick. However, mine's just pissed out everywhere, so I've just touched the nick.
Quick.
Oh god, this stuff's done.
Don't rub your eyes or your cock.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping it's the nick and it wasn't just a little bit of that juice that had come out of the base from where I'd been shaking it and whatever. Because this did seem fairly sealed, but then it was also wet, so I'm not really sure. I'll have to go wash my hands in a minute. And yeah, I guess I just put it all back together and shake it up in a minute, and I'll vape it and tell you what it's like. But it's a cool system. It's a cool system, either way.
I'm not sold.
No. But wouldn't you like to be able to give a short field to someone and go, what nick strength do you want? Rather than, well, for a 6, you've got to have 2 bottles, but you can't really fit them in there. So you're going to have to decant a little bit.
Our legislation won't allow that.
TPD restriction, isn't it?
Yeah.
But technically, I mean, that is under 10 mil.
Ideally, someone will walk into that shop if they want 3, 6, 12. Why is that so glary?
I don't know. I can only see me on the screen.
Oh, shit.
Well, yeah, you're trying to show something and we can't even see you.
Yeah. So, ideally, you walk into a shop and you go, I want that in 6 milligram, please. I want that in 12 milligram, please. And you can sell it at that. But unfortunately,
thank you.
So,
thank you. So. Vape, hashtag vape advocacy right there. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Wouldn't you like to be able to put the same amount of liquid in so you didn't have to have different concentrate levels? So the physical amount of liquid going into your short fill is exactly the same, whether it's 3, 6, 12, but it's the concentrated nicotine that you're putting in there that is different. However, like you say, it wouldn't be allowed because you'd have to have higher than 20 milligram in order to get a 12 and 100 ml bottle.
Exactly. Yeah. All of that stuff would be redundant if the TPD was abolished and we could start putting bloody nick, in our liquids again. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know what to do with this now.
Chandler, what was your take on the expo?
It was good. I really did miss the. There were no modders. No, there was no homemade, custom made.
Fuck all, wasn't there?
Absolutely nothing, and that was seriously lacking. I like to go and see. Oh, what's the even if it is somebody that's only got 3 that they've managed to make in 12 months and costs £500 a piece, and I'm never going to be able to afford it, but it's nice to go and see it, and that was definitely missing. Other than that, it was Expo. There was a lot more stands that were selling hardware than there is usually. It's usually juice after juice. Don't get me wrong, there is plenty of juice. Plenty of juices available for anybody that wants to try them. Yeah. But you could wander in and actually come out with some hardware. Things that got me excited was Watofu. Elevate. The Elevate, which is the new one by Matt Cully, Suck My Mud. He released that at Expo, and that looks really good. And I wish I'd picked one up while I was there, but I didn't because I'm a muppet. Because I thought, oh yeah, I'll buy one when I get back, and I can't find anyone that's got any yet. Obviously, they're not quite released. I thought they were due for release at Expo, but no one seems to have them anywhere else yet. But that looks good.
Did you see the Vaper Giant stand?
What have the Vaper Giant stand got on them?
They're super silver mods that looked a little bit too much like the K Fund. And they had super long stacked ones. I dropped a picture in the chat. Can't believe it.
I know. Look, I've been working all day, and I haven't had a chance to stop and look at anything since Expo. To be honest with you. So yeah, I am feeling a little bit behind on the times. Well, juice wise, because yeah, juice everywhere. Knight's Vape Cherry Cola,
lovely.
They're nice. They're very nice, actually. I was expecting it to be a little bit on the taste like the sweeties, like cherry cola bottles. No, it's more like I would say Pepsi Max, the Pepsi Max cherry. Yeah, and which is great
See,
for
the
me because
Pepsi Max has done it for me now. I don't like Pepsi Max.
I prefer Pepsi Max to cola. I accidentally bought a bottle, a big box of red Coca-Cola because on the side it had got 3 free cans or something of Coke Zero in it, and I thought, oh great, Coke Zero. I thought the whole lot was Coke Zero, but it wasn't. And my God, red Coca-Cola just tastes bloody awful now.
Right.
You clean your toilet with it.
I'm just going to find this video quickly.
Can you do it and share your screen? Because I've not got a copy of it.
Yeah.
Did you know, sorry to butt in, did you know that Coca-Cola in the UK are no longer selling Cherry Coke? It's gone. It's done.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Can we just have a moment of silence for Cherry Coke, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, no problem. Okay, I'm back to the plot.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's as much as it needs, really. Yeah. So I'm not even going to ask why, because I don't think we need to know. Yeah, juice wise.
Is that down to the sugar ban? Can I just start? Do you reckon that's down to the sugar ban thing?
Possibly, probably. Who knows?
It was one of the reasons they were the local shop that I bought it from. They reckoned because it had got a couple of cans of zero sugar in it, it got round the sugar tax. But the rest of them, there was 15 cans, and there was 3 cans that had got no sugar in it. But it meant they could sell it on offer because it got round the sugar tax.
Maybe the TPD found out that Cherry Coke had diacetyl in it.
Right, let's just quickly share this from Cass.
I don't know whether there'll be audio or not, but
this you don't need to see it. This is for Keith. There we go, full screen.
Oh,
it's sideways. Oh,
you see that cabinet get completely destroyed.
Oh man,
that was literally it.
I don't think that one punch was actually made. Not one punch made contact.
But look at this bit, right? So, oh wait, no, I paused it too slowly. Right, so what you want to do is look here. Look, find my mouse. See this cabinet here? Right, this is the most interesting bit of the video. You can see it going. Oh,
did it just fall? Oh, it fell over.
It got knocked off. Yeah.
Nobody actually hit the cabinet. It just fell off.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Baz, just very quickly, I don't know if it's in your price range, as far as refillable pod systems. Nearly threw a bottle of beer across the room reaching for pods. There's 2 that I use. There's L2, which is refillable. Nice magnets on it. Dead quick and easy pod system. Jobs are good in. And my favourite, which is the Orion.
They're kind of one end of the spectrum and the other price wise, aren't they? Though.
Yeah.
But your L2 is very affordable. What, about 25 quid, 30 quid?
Something like that.
30 quid. To be honest with you, if I had to choose,
pick that up now.
That'll be the Orion.
Oh, that would have been so impressive, Mark.
As if by magic.
You were trying to get it to land on the bed, weren't you?
Yeah. So all in all, then, any negatives, Chandler, or was it all positive for you?
As usual, the main reason for going is meeting up with folk that I just don't. I either don't see or just communicate via text or on Facebook or see via Tinterweb. So it's actually getting to see people that I just don't see at any other point. And
you see, Nadim, do you remember the first?
event.
Do you remember the first expo? Tiny across one hall. It was absolutely tiny.
It just brought me back actually, because like you said, that's after the first expo and like the first vape jam and stuff like that. Like once you've been to one, right, you kind of been to them all. I mean, it's the same concept again and again, really, right? But
I disagree.
But what you said there was about like going there and meeting people that you hadn't met before and going and hooking up with people. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that was the reason. That still is the reason for me, you know, is to go there and to hang out with people that I wouldn't normally have got to meet, you know. I mean, I met Big Tom over there for the first time. For some reasons our paths hadn't crossed, you know, before. So I got to meet Big Tom for the first time. You know, my very first vape jam, I met Dan Littleworth, do you know what I mean? And we just kind of hit it off like straight away back then. And those relationships, you know, kind of continued from there. Otherwise, it would just be, you know, just a messenger chat, or, you know, almost like having internet buddies, do you know what I mean? So that's one of the key things for Expo for me. And I know that, you know, Paul Harrison talked about that as well, and you know, Dale was talking about that. It's just absolutely fantastic to see, you know, new vapors coming up on the scene. You know, just to meet up with all your pals and your buddies and stuff. And I almost ignore all the marketing stuff now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, cool, yeah, great, you got it. You know, nice juice, mate. You know, whatever. But let me go and chat to Shaka. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of where I'm at with it.
Was Shaka there?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Shaq and Kirsty were there. Yeah, it's good to see him. I hadn't seen him in a couple of years.
I saw him. I'm sure I saw him in Manchester at the Vaper Lifestyle Expo.
Yeah, it was really cool to see him, man. I gave him a really big hug.
Prior to that, I'd not seen him in a while. I think the last time I saw him was either Fest or Doncaster. I think he might have even been at Doncaster.
Right. Yeah, he seemed in good spirits, man. He seemed to be doing really well, you know. So it's really good to see him. Yeah.
But this is it. You know, unfortunately, a lot of today's vapors will never know the industry as it was 2, 3, 4 years ago, which is just honestly, it's completely changed.
I mean, I remember the very first vape jam I went to in the lower ground floor of the Kensington Olympia, where they literally just had all the windows. Yeah. So I met a dude called Jacob who runs a shop in Miami, but he was on the Element stand, and he was my first contact with Element. And I love meeting up with the dude every year at either Jam or Expo or wherever he happens to be, because it means that you can build these relationships with these companies and these people on a much more personal level than anyone coming into vaping now will ever know. I mean, I talk to new companies now, and every time I send an email or a message, it's a different person replying. It just happens to be who's on the end of that particular email address at the time. A lot of companies back then, I could go to the stand and I could talk to them. I'd be like, "Oh, is Steve about, or is Jack about?" "Oh yeah, mate, he's just coming now." And then you email them 6 months later, and Jack or Steve are the ones who reply to you, and you can build an incredibly close knit community very quickly. But you don't get that anymore. I've definitely noticed, and they're a lot. Have you found vape companies are now almost untouchable to contact? You get an info at whoever email, or you get a customer service whoever, and you can't get hold of the people you want to get hold of. Where before it was just like steve@gmail.com, and that's the guy you speak to.
Yeah, and you know, I think you're right. I think, you know, I mean, I still belong to, you know, a couple of kind of vape forums and stuff and Facebook groups, and you know, I don't really have much time to kind of get involved, so I can't really give a really sort of first-hand experience of actually what it's like for the newcomers now. But I do try, like every time I sort of come on, I'll try and answer a few questions and kind of go like that. But yeah, the old days of like where real friendships were kind of really being forged. And you know, I mean, my God, back in the day, I was, you know, buying cheap remote control car batteries off of eBay, you know, and then sticking them up on VIP Vapors, going, "Look what I've just got, you know, these are a bargain." And you know, people going, "What are you doing, mate? Like, you know, you're going to blow your hands off." And I would get, you know, Samsung 25Rs sent to me in the post. You know what I mean? I just get vape mail, that morning, you know, and there'd be someone had sent me some batteries to stop me from blowing my hands off, you know. And it was that kind of, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's funny to laugh about it, do you know what I mean? But like that kind of community, I don't see it anymore. You know, I really don't. It's
Nadine,
sad.
is that back in the day when 25Rs were blue and not green?
They were blue ones, yeah. They were blue. I was going to say they were blue batteries, mate. Yeah. I was rocking a K-Fun 3, and I just learned to kind of really build, and so I think I put a 0.7 build on a K-Fun 3. I mean, I think that's what it was. My ohms reader was rubbish, but it was definitely sub-ohm on like a peak insulator, and I was using remote control car batteries. I mean, it was like, kids don't do that at home. Do you know what I mean? I'm a knob for doing that, but it was just fun. Do you know what I mean? Because like, you know, I had people just absolutely like going to me, "What are you doing?" You know, and jumping on board and trying to save me from that. You know, and that was cool. That's how I got to learn. Do you know what I mean? The hard way. And yeah, I just. Yeah, I mean, maybe it is out there. I don't know. I'm not really that active anymore, unfortunately, with a lot of the Facebook groups out there. I'm hoping that in some corner of the world, you know, people are talking about how to rebuild Smock baby beast coils. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I really hope that's happening. But you know,
the closest to that scene I've come recently was Fest, because it was smaller. I mean, that was definitely felt like I was back at the Kensington Olympia at the first Vape Jam, because I was talking to the people that were making their juices. I was talking to the people who designed that particular post and milled it out himself, you know. I remember, you know, and that was the closest I'd come to it, because it wasn't, you weren't just being blasted by media and marketing, and he's fucking with me.
He is.
Fucking about.
He's fucking with you. So yeah, and then that's where I met Mark, you know, and since then, I've got to know Mark quite well through what is a close-knit community at Fest. So point in case. Yeah.
No, that's great. That's great. I need to get over there. Go on.
Sorry, go on.
I heard Chandler's name, but I didn't hear what.
I heard my name,
Chandler.
but that was it. Yeah.
So how are you going with Nickgate?
You fucked with me, haven't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago that we were trying to decide whether or not you could tell the difference between a nicotine, a 3 milligram juice and a 0 milligram juice, and I've just looked at my board to check which one's which.
I still remember.
So what we did is, what I did, I sent Chandler a bottle of 0 milligram, what was it, cream soda? A 0 milligram cream soda and a Nick-shotted cream soda, so a 0 milligram and a 3 milligram, and he had to decide which one had got nicotine in and which one hadn't. And I know based on his last feed, you were struggling, weren't you, mate?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I just went to go fetch the bottle, but my missus has tidied up, and my bag isn't where it was. So one of the things I was going to try and do was, because this is this is cream soda. This isn't the bottle. This is a bottle of cream soda I've got left over. And nice clear bottle. See through it. You put it in black bottles.
Purposely.
So I can't even see into it to see which one's a little bit darker. So yeah, last week when I tried it on my dripper, and I was quite convinced it was bottle A.
With or without?
With the nicotine. So I'm thinking bottle A on my dripper. That's the one that's got the best flavour. I then took bottle A with me to work the next day. No, the next day I didn't go to work. I alternated tanks throughout the day. A, B, A, B, A, B. I couldn't tell the bloody difference. And I then went, right, sod this for a game of soldiers. I'm having a tank full of apple and elderflower, because I know I need something to satisfy me. Bottle of apple and elderflower. Filled the tank up, started vaping it, and I'm going, this tastes like it's got no feckin' nicotine in it. It's not doing anything for me. I was gutted. It's like you killed vaping for me. Everything thereafter was like, has it got nick in it?
It's all lies.
Oh. So yeah, I then went to work with bottle A. I then went to work with bottle B. I'm now convinced. I'm now fairly sure. I think the nick is actually in bottle B. Because
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's the bottle that I kind of went. Yeah, this is the one that I'm going to vape vape the lot off. But the stupid thing is, I can vape bottle A with no nicotine in it all day, and it's fine. If that is the way around it is,
or vice versa. Or what I could have done is totally fucked with you and sent you both zeros.
You could have sent me both zeros. You could have sent me both of them with both with nicotine in. They could have had 20 milligram fucking nic salts in for all I knew. You know.
So what's your final answer?
I think that safely goes to show that you can't tell the difference. Is that what you're saying, Chandler?
This is the conclusion we've come to, I think.
Oh, get in!
There's the answer. B had the nick in it.
But it was I found it really interesting that when I have it on my dripper, it was bottle A that I wanted because it had got more flavour in it. How bizarre is that?
But like Nadeem just said, your claim of being able to tell is null and void.
Well, yeah, it was. Well, to be fair, it was the fact that I said I'd vaped zero nicotine for a couple of days, and when I realised it was zero nicotine, that was when it screwed in my head, and I went, "No, I can't vape it."
Chandler, did you not just finger bang it?
I did. I can't tell a fucking difference either way. I don't do finger testing anyway, because
don't finger bang.
Well, we call it finger bang. You drip it on your finger and then go, oh, that's nice, dude. Yeah.
That's one way to do it, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't. It always vapes completely differently to how it tastes to me when I taste raw juice. It always vapes differently, and some of my favourite.
That's how I taste juice.
Really? Because some of the more tobacco-y flavours, if you taste it, they're awful. You know,
oh yeah,
100%. You know, you get a mouthful of juice because that's what I was used to when I started. I'd got ropey tobacco flavours anyway. Whatever you were using tended to piss juice into your mouth anyway every 3 drags. And
look at that for colour on a tobacco vape.
Oh, that's
Can you
nice.
see that
If
is
it doesn't
brown.
If it doesn't turn your wicks black in 24 hours, it's not a decent tobacco juice.
It's fucking insane.
But yeah. So yeah, and I must admit, I won't say cheat slightly because I'd kind of made my mind up by before I went to Expo, but I did kind of take bottle A and bottle B with me, and I did ask Big Tom his opinion.
What did he say?
He thought bottle B, but he did the drip it on his finger and went, yeah, it's bottle B.
Did he try to video call me after that?
I don't know. He might have done, but I would have disappeared by that point.
He tried to FaceTime me on Saturday, and I missed it completely, and then didn't get around to calling him back. But I didn't know if that was why.
No, because I saw him Friday.
No, probably not.
But it might have been. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, basically, I can't tell the bloody. I'd quite happily, if you gave me that bottle A, and went, yeah, that's 3 milligram, I would vape the bottle and not know the bloody difference.
Yeah.
That was fun. It took 3 weeks, but it was definitely worth it.
I would know straight away, man, because I mean, yeah, it was I had to test nicotine like a lot of times, like to actually test for the quality of nic, like back before the TPD. One of the key things that would allow us to stock a flavour was with the nic, if the nic quality was any good, and we'd keep bottles off the shelf if the nic quality was shit. So you get sent a 3 milligram and it would taste like a 6. Do you know what I mean? And you'd be like, I don't care what the flavour is, your nic quality is rank. Like it ain't coming in the store. So
I think you know what you need to do, Mark.
What's that?
I think you send Nadeem some with 0 and some with 3. That was a very confident claim.
Yeah,
I'd have the answer for you in seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, but I purposefully didn't. I purposefully didn't lick it because I thought the purpose of it was to see if I could tell the difference purely from vaping it. And for an extended period of time. Yeah, I thought if I swallow half the bottle and get a nick high, that's kind of cheating.
I'll tell you what I have noticed, and I can answer. Well, I can respond to Michael Donaghy on here as well, who said that he prefers no nick now, but he keeps a bottle of 1.5 for stressful days. I can't vape 3 milligram anymore. It makes me feel horrible. I'm kind of with him on that. Like an 18 milligram nick shot, or 18 milligram nick salt shot, should make a liquid a 3 milligram. And I can very, very rarely stick a whole bottle in before it starts tasting really rank. So I'm probably on that 1.5 milligram nick strength myself. So yeah. I think it would be a little bit difficult to tell the difference between a 0 and a 3, but I think I'd still smash it in seconds.
Well, this nick I put into this tobacco is giving me a wonderful nick high, and there's no peppery taste at all. So I suppose that's what you want out of nick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's boring Mark now.
I should mention that whilst I am on here, I am happy to do a bit of a giveaway.
Oh.
If anyone's interested in that. Yes.
Free shit, free shit, free shit, free shit, free.
Fight. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see behind me, but I've got available on a giveaway. I'll grab it here.
For a minute, I thought you were going to pull out one of those spinny wheel jobs that seemed to be the thing.
Yeah, I did that, and I won 50% off.
Hey.
So I
didn't buy anything, but
I have available this rather fetching cotton and cable hat, trucker's hat. Also a cotton and cable t-shirt over here. Don't know if you can see that, guys. It's got a nice little fetching little logo on with our beautifully designed coat of arms on the back.
Nice.
And I'm going to give away 3 bottles, not 1, not 2, but 3 bottles of cotton and cable craft liquid. So I think what we talked about, Mark, wasn't it, was about sort of leaving the post up for a little bit, letting people catch up and stuff. I don't know how you want to do it. Like, I'm happy to do a randomizer. So the first name that comes up gets the juice, second name that comes up gets the hat, and the third name that comes up gets the t-shirt. So I don't know how you want to do this, Mark. Should they just comment X1 thing in the comments, or
what we'll do? I will put a post up as soon as we finish the show on the VTUK UK group, on the Facebook group. Apologies for those of you that aren't on Facebook, but it's our only way of entering at the moment. So we will put up a post with instructions on how to enter.
Cool.
We'll put a closing date on there, and then Nadeem will, I assume you'll do a video of some sort to randomise?
Yeah, with the randomizer, absolutely, yeah. I think how it'd be is if you put the hashtag cotton and cable and then name the 3 juices that you'd want, and then what I can do is put all of those comments into a randomizer and draw out the lucky winners.
Comments on this video.
We could do that, yeah.
If you haven't got Facebook.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have to correlate between the 2. No, let's go for that. For those of you that aren't on Facebook, but if you are on Facebook, please use Facebook. Pop into the chat. Hashtag, what was it?
Hashtag cotton and cable.
Cotton and cable, and the 3 flavours.
There's a couple of people on Facebook, but I tell you what, if you put a comment under the if you put a comment on the video, I will put a comment under the post that I'll basically copy and paste your comment from the YouTube into the Facebook group, so you'll get an entry.
Nice, yeah, fantastic. That sounds perfect. See, we got there in the end, didn't we? Almost like we're professionals.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and quick question. Can I enter? Because I could really do with a new T-shirt.
Of course you can enter. Yes, of course you can enter. only one entry per person, ladies and gentlemen.
One entry per
If you
household.
if you enter more than once, your vote might not count, and you still may be charged.
Absolutely.
And
Right,
don't
this
forget
brings
to
me
get
back to
permission of the bill payer.
Oh,
brings me back to the. This brings me back to the voice, mate. We've gone full circle.
You missed that, didn't you?
Was-
Chandler, you missed Nadim's voice audition.
Let's put it back on just to finish the show.
Oh, fuck's
Okay.
sake, go on.
I took it off the queue list. Hang on, let me put it back in the media.
Is it a rewind job?
Mark, just ask your missus. She's got them up now, isn't she, still?
She has got them up. She's got them up. There we go. So before we finish, just a quick preview of. I should have put the busking one up. That would have been so much better. But no, we'll go back to.
You should have asked for a live.
I'm alright, standing in the street light. Yeah. Is this meant for me? 'Cause my time on the outside is over. Now we don't know how you're spending all of those days knowing love isn't here. You see the pictures, but you don't know their name. Stuff isn't here. I can't do that myself. It's all of these problems, they're all in your head. And I can't be somebody else.
Oh, there we go. I'd like to thank Nadim for joining us this week. No, Ian, we don't have copyright, so we'll probably get a strike for that.
I'm still a winner. I'm still a winner. I'm still a winner.
Oh, that's amazing.
Fantastic.
Sorry about that.
Thank you very much for joining us, Nadim. Those of you that haven't checked out Cotton and Cable, give them a try. I can't believe how many requests we've got to join this group in the last 10 minutes. My phone is going nuts. What have I got with me? I've got the Fruitful, I've got the Eaten Mess, and I have got... where's it gone? The Hot Cross Bun. And the Hot Cross Bun. Give it a try, guys. Shameless plug-in coming. If you want to buy it, we've got a 10% discount on vapass.co.uk. VTUK 10 will get you 10% off. Failing that, get yourself over to Cotton and Cable's website. Pop an order in there. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to Nadine.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Cass.
Thank you all very much.
Chandler,
Thanks for having me on the opportunity. It's been really cool to be on here. Thank you.
Not a problem at all. We'll hopefully catch you soon. Nadim, if you hold back after the show, we're going to play the credits out, but we'll hang back after the show just for a few minutes. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
VTUK. Bye-bye.